And sitting and chilling on the phone.
You're on your phone.
Well, we wanted to tell you that we got you on dash cam not using turn signals, running lights, and everything else too. What happens if we did that?
What's that?
Run red lights, not use turn signals, and all that. Huh?
I said it depends.
We get stopped all the time for not using turn signals and running red lights, wide right turns. We always wonder why, we get tickets for that kind of thing.
Recent upload from Truth Be Told Audits, and before we go over some of this video, I wanted to look under the video and this comment from US All the Way. He says, "There you are, in the middle of the night, being a total D-bag, following cops around. Well done, loser." Well, who's gonna hold the cops accountable for their actions if we don't? If you were speeding down the road and they caught you in a speed trap, what do you think's gonna happen, US All the Way? You're gonna get a very expensive ticket that you probably can't afford. Most people are living paycheck to paycheck and they can't afford an extra $250, $300 ticket for going 7 miles an hour over the speed limit. Or what if the cop doesn't put on his blinkers? Is it not right to pull that guy over and say, "Hey, just wanted to let you know, I saw that you didn't put your turn signal on when you were turning left into that parking lot. I know what would have happened if you saw me do that. You would have pulled me over, and you're not serving and protecting, you're harassing and collecting. So you would have pulled me over so you could harass me. And then because you have the power and you have the ability, you would actually give me a ticket for doing something that you guys do all the time." I don't know about you guys, but in my small town, cops are constantly speeding. And what's really good to have is a forward and rear facing dash cam that's, has the GPS enabled on it, and you can find out how fast exactly you're going so that you can point out, "Hey, I was in a 45 mile per hour speed limit. I was doing 43 miles per hour and you were doing 59 and you weren't going anywhere. You didn't have your lights on, you didn't have your sirens on, and you just met your buddy in a parking lot so you could pick up a Jimmy Dean's farm sausage from the local convenience store." So I think it's really important that we hold the cops accountable. And I like the way Truth Be Told Audits did this right here. He wasn't being a jerk to him. He was being matter of fact. He was telling him, "Hey, I caught you doing something where if you caught me doing the same thing, you would have economically terrorized me, or you would have shown me officer discretion, which is nothing but injustice." The cops will show officer discretion if it's a pretty lady, or if it's a judge, or if it's a lawyer that they know, or if it's a fellow cop. But hey, if it's you and me, he's going to give you a ticket. He's going to throw the book at you. And sometimes they'll go, "You know what? You were doing 19 miles an hour over the speed limit, but I'm just going to write you a ticket for 9 miles over the speed limit." And then you go into court and the judge goes, "You know what? It was going to be $140, but I'll tell you what, we're going to cut it down to $79 tonight for you and you only." And they do this trying to get in your good graces. It's like, "Oh man, that judge was so cool. He only extorted $79 from me. Well, what about if it was zero? That'd be nice, wouldn't it?" And the cop's not cutting you any slack. You weren't harming anybody out on the road. You weren't threatening to harm anybody. Doing 19 miles an hour over the speed limit. Hey, cops do that all the time. Were you jeopardizing anybody on the roadway? Were there any pedestrians you were putting in harm's way and creating a traffic hazard? So I'm going to play some of this, but I think it's very important, and a lot of people don't see it this way, but it is very important to hold public servants accountable to the same laws that they hold us to. The name of Truth Be Told Audits video is "Rules for Thee and Not for Me," and this is how they always do. So let's watch some of this.
My phone was wanting to freeze up on me. Oh, that's 2030. That's the one that was running the stop signs and everything. Well, I have it on dash cam anyways, too.
Yeah, I got it on this one too.
And sitting and chilling on the phone.
You're on your phone. Now, why'd you shine your light at me?
Well, we wanted to tell you that we got you on dash cam not using turn signals, running lights, and everything else, too. So.
Look at this guy's face. Cool. Yeah. All right. Anything else? What if you treated the cop like this cop's treating them? Oh, that wouldn't fly, man. You got to respect my authority, is how they look at it. Look at his face.
What happens if we did that? Just, up out of the blue, what happens if we did that?
What's that?
Run red lights, not use turn signals and all that. Huh?
I said it depends.
It depends?
Yeah, what red light did I run?
Huh?
What red light did I run?
The one over there off of...
Whenever you were coming back up from the college area? Mm-hmm. And then didn't use whenever you stop for those kids at the car right here, you didn't make a turn your right turn signal on right there either. You know, right here, right where the kids were dancing on the sidewalk. Right. I see you're a sergeant too. What's your name?
Sergeant Hallmark.
Hallmark? Like the card store? Just like the card store. That way, I'm just looking for reference to spell it, so. Yeah. But I was just wondering, you know, because we get stopped all the time for not using turn signals and running red lights, wide right turns. Why you gotta do all that? Oh, you couldn't see me?
I can see you. I can see you.
Oh.
And you know, typically when they do pull you over for these petty things, it's to conduct a fishing expedition on you. Hey, you got anything in the back of the car I need to be worried about? You don't have anything illegal, do you? Illegal firearms, illegal drugs? You got any open containers or anything like that? I think I smell marijuana, boy. Have you been to the bar? How much have you had to drink? Why don't you step out? Let's do a little roadside sobriety test for you. So it's a fishing expedition so that they can look for more ways to increase the coffers of the state. It's always like that.
Yeah, it just always, you know, we always wonder why, you know, we get tickets for that kind of thing. We know you have officer discretion, but at the same time, you know, I wish we could write citations too. But I don't know if I'd let you off on, you know, a warning or use officer discretion and just let you go or so. But it's good to, you know, practice those turn signals, you know. I know that they work in y'all's vehicles, so. So it's 2030 2030. So. Yeah. So. Yeah, it's good to sit here and pretty much stare at us crazy. So you do write tickets for that though, right? For no turn signals? How many of you wrote this week? Well, you've been on your phone pretty much the whole time, so then he's gonna roll up his window on us. I see your silhouette. I can't see you.
So I want to be clear here. I'll leave the link to Truth Be Told audits in this video right here. Check out what he's got. He's got some really good content over there. But the bottom line to this whole thing is it is rules for thee and not for me. And I'm not by any means saying that we need to institute these rules and these rules are good, because most of these rules are cruel, unjust, and just downright evil. Because when you have laws, they serve two purposes. Let's just face it. Number one, they increase the coffers of the state. So when they increase the coffers of the state, that means it's taking money away from you and expanding and increasing their power. The second thing it does is it takes rights away from you. So it takes your money and it takes your rights. This is a transfer of power and wealth. The wealth and power is transferred from you, who are supposed to be the masters of society, and they're supposed to be the public servants, but the servants, so-called, are the ones who are extracting the power and the money from you, leaving us weaker and them stronger and more equipped and more belligerent, so that the next time they stop you, they expect you to stop, and then everybody else learns their lesson. Oh my goodness, when we see the cherries and berries, obviously we did something wrong and they do everything right. So I'm not by any means pushing more legislation, more laws, more traffic infractions. I'm not pushing that at all, because we know that traffic infractions are just a justification to trample individual rights. And matter of fact, as far as they're concerned, when you just take their actions at face value, they believe traffic laws trump the Constitution, which is supposed to be the supreme law of the land. So I'll leave the link to Truth Be Told audit in the description below. Check them out. Let them know that Here's the Deal sent you. If you haven't done so already, subscribe to this channel. If you disagree or if you agree, leave a comment, because it helps me overcome the algorithmic suppression going on in this channel. Don't forget to like this video, share it with everybody you know, grab a hard-hitting conversation starting shirt from the store, and I will see you in the next video.